Can you tell me a little bit about who you are?
Well, no one knows who I am, including myself there, VV. I was still trying to work. I was lucky enough, and I was actually in the AFL at that stage at 18, so we're going back to 95 here, so that's a few years ago. And then, in that period, so 99 onwards, we were actually professional athletes. So I was in that first generation, which I was for the Brisbane Bears, which became Footscray now. So I had 16 years there, and then I retired in 2010. So I sort of done a lot of things after that. I did coaching, I did foreign exchange, I still do a lot with payments. I coach a little bit with the Lions Level 3 Academy, which is the top level, and also a real estate principal. So here in Brisbane, it's safe to say the market's pretty crazy, and we're always sort of involved in it. So that'll give you a brief overview of my life so far, even though I was a very successful sportsman. But you can't do it forever.
So then, growing up, did you see sport as something that you wanted to pursue?
Always. That's all I wanted to do. I mean, I had pretty bad ADHD. I was smart enough, but I couldn't really be bothered. I just wanted to be physically active. That's how much I love sport. All I wanted to do was be on a motorbike or a kart or a car, and that just didn't happen. So sport was, and it still is, I still derive great enjoyment for being involved in sport.
So you would consider yourself to be an ambitious person?
And ambitious, yeah. So ambition is the other thing you need. You need to hang in there and grind and show grit and perseverance. Then you're not going to make it.
So like the ambition is having some kind of goal that you're working towards, some reason to bring in and have the training schedule to keep rocking up every day.
When I was 15, I nearly died with a bad head knock that I had on rollerblades, and that took me out for the whole year of footy because I had a blood clot in my brain, so I had to move. I probably would have died, so I was really close. From that moment, just knowing that there was no way I could waste my time again, and that don't take it for granted. You need to go. You need to do something. Life was not done with you, but you can't just think it's going to happen. And I think that part of my life, that as the universe is, as you go through your journey, it crystallized very clearly that I need to get on with it and just think it's just going to happen.
Yeah. What was your steps once you started to recover?
So I went back and they had the athletics carnival. I did 52 seconds for 400 metres on grass there, which is quite a quick time. And there just happened to be a guy who worked at the school, but he was the head athletics coach at a all-boys rugby union school called Nudgee College. And they said, we think you've got some talent, and I know you can't afford to go there, but would you be keen to take a scholarship for athletics? So I took the scholarship. That scholarship at that all-boys school, it was a really important break from a co-ed rugby league school, and I was in that.
So then you're starting to feel that responsibility. You're like, not letting another second waste. What did you learn in that school that then helped you move forward?
At the time, I didn't realise the network and everything that goes along with it, but what I did learn very quickly is just that level, for what it was worth in the GPS and Brisbane competitions, you only really got to compete and run against or play against guys in basketball or soccer. I didn't want to play union, even though they wanted me to, until you got to state level, where the GPS level, like they're right there. Now, they're not necessarily the state champs, but they're not far off the guys winning that. And to go into that competitive environment with better athletes was the best. And so as much as you don't like it sometimes, because there might be a guy better than you, but it's okay. In looking back, it's not only awesome, but it is the right system for me at the time.
Yeah, so being around the right influencers, being around other people who are also on a similar journey, seeing how they dedicate them time to training, kind of helped you settle into it and create this lifestyle.
Like if you want to be successful, one of the easiest things you can do is to go around people who are in at the level you would like to be at. So you start to then improve physically and mentally. And when you go in, particularly business, and you're going with the others who are generally way more successful in the sense that they build a business and it's going well and it's quite profitable, things start to behave the same. Humans always do that. It never fails.
So be very careful of your peers and select your peers wisely. Whether you like it or not, it's going to have an impact.
They're just like magnets. They're all there.
So then it seems like reflection and being able to look back at what you've done and analyze what you've done, create systems to improve then where you're at, has been a big part of your success.
We had a guy called Dr. Phil Johnsey, but Phil was incredibly important for our profiling. We do the players, we would do the staff, we would do the wives and girlfriends, and it really does help knowing it, using it. Some of my teammates who I didn't get on with at times, and I couldn't work out what was the problem and why they behaved like that. But if you know the profiling, which I took enormous amounts of time to do with both Phil, I could say, he's just been a dickhead Mozzie. It's all right, he's in that, or he's just being too serious, or he's just thinking it, overthinking it, looks for deeper meanings. Yeah, don't worry about it. And it made my life so much easier, and their life too, I'm sure.
Yeah, because now you're not taking things like as personally. You have an actual framework to kind of filter that information through and say, okay, yep, it's them, their personality that's driving this. And you've also got a framework to reflect on and say, oh, well, this is showing my personality now. My profile is just coming out.
And in the zone is the only place you ever want to be. And if you've ever had a game in the zone, you will chase that like a drug addict for the rest of your life. If you just play, I suppose, stress-free footy, because your instincts and your pattern reading in your brain is so precise. And they're also very important in business and life, and doesn't always work, like, it doesn't always happen, and doesn't always work out. So it really does help to know the others as well as yourself.
So what are some of the coaching tips that you have where, I'm sure in your business too, in the real estate business, you got team there, so you're coaching your team. What's some takeaways in terms of getting the best performance out of others?
The best coaches, if you're the best coach, it means that you're redundant, which means you don't need to be there for them to do the right thing. Instead of going in, which I used to do and did poorly, I would say to my coach, if we do this and you should do this, we'll be better. Big mistake. However, if I go in there, which I learned to do many times, and I still do this, I say, hey coach, I got this idea. What do you reckon? If we do this and do that and we put that in there, I think this structure will actually work for us. Thinks about it. They will then take it on board, then they start to implement it, then they got ownership. That is the destructive nature of egos. We're all salesmen. We're all salespeople. We are all selling ourselves. That's a product they pay for. I can now see the patterns, and I can see these guys in this group. They're a waste of time. Every time they do this, you'll see the red flag. You're really saying there's a reason for that, because you are uncoachable in a way, and you're wasting my time, and you're using my time, which is the most valuable thing I have.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Aka, for this conversation. I have learned a lot more about how I can improve myself and how I still go through the process, but not be so hard on myself, right? Like, the journey is enjoyable, and the people I'm around are very valuable to me. So enjoy this present moment. I really appreciate it. All the best with your future endeavors.
You never lose, you learn. Anytime, VV.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Bye.
you.